Hello, welcome back to the MMA Split Pick Show ahead of the card after the card, UFC Fight Night Vegas, Calvin Kattar taking on the heavy-hitting Josh Emmett. Obviously, this is the card following one of the biggest pay-per-views of the year. Sometimes they can be a little lacking, but when I was doing my picks, I was pleasantly surprised. Some great fights, great main event, great co-main event, 14 fights in total, so plenty of action to break down. And far more importantly, a brand new season of our pick show competition. The trial run is over. Now we're into the real stuff, the real These results matter. There will be a loser. He will be punished. There will be a winner. He will be rewarded. We are here as always with myself, Matt, producer Josh, and Sly, 2 episodes in a row. How could we possibly be so lucky? That's got to be worth a like on the video if you are watching and enjoying the content. Please feel free to leave your comments in as well. If you want to leave your own picks and you do better than us, then we're going to give you a shout out when we do the breakdown episode next week. With that being said, straight into this and talk about our main event. Calvin Kattar is back after a stunning return to form, beating Giga Chikadze in a match that no one on this podcast, pretty much nobody in the MMA community thought he had a hope in, but he got it done. I think his chances are a lot stronger on paper against Josh Emmett. First and foremost, Josh, what do you think of the matchup? Are you excited to see both of these guys back? And how do you think this is all going to play out?
How do I think it's going to play out? It's a wary one to kind of like pick up on, because with Emmett, you have that. With Chikadze, I assumed at some point he was going to land at least one good body kick and just change the course of the fight. Josh Emmett, he's only really got to land one good hook or uppercut. That could be it. That being said, I think the sensible money's on Kattar not really dropping around here, right? Emmett's good. He's getting older. He does just kind of rely on the power a little bit. And Kattar's fresh off a dominating performance where he proved that he can really nullify your best weapons. And truthfully, it's just been some key performances against top guys, for example, like Max Holloway, where you've just gone, okay, you're just a little bit off the top of the pack. You know, they're a little bit ahead of you, and seemingly you can't close that gap. But where do you really fit in, you know, in the top 5? And then he came out and he showed me how full of shit I was against Chikadze. I am cautiously picking Kattar to win every single fucking round here. It's just, I don't want to start singing his praises, and then Emmett lands like some funky fucking hook in the 4th or 5th round, and that's that. I don't know. I'm picking Kattar. That's the sensible money, right? What do you guys think?
What's your thoughts, Fly?
I honestly think Kattar's got. I mean, Emmett's really good, really good.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think Kattar's got a really good chance of just knocking him out. I see one of them two knocking the other out. You know, they both won many fights in decision, but this is going to be 5 rounds. I don't see this going distance. I really don't see this going distance. I just think Kattar's just more willing to sometimes, take a hit to get a hit. And it's going to be really close. I've put Kattar's KO, but it's just because he's a really tough guy. He's just so tough.
I don't see how Emmett wins this. Like, does he have a puncher's chance? Yeah, he hits really fucking hard. We saw that against Johnson. We saw that against Shane Burgos. We saw that more recently when he fought Dan Ige. Does look like he gets a little tired, though. I mean, what's he now? 36, 37, Josh Emmett?
37.
You know, he's
and I was curious,
not particularly...
sorry, Calvin's only 34.
Calvin's already 34.
Yeah, well, I wasn't sure who the older guy was here. But there is a little bit of a gap. I'd say 34 to 37 is like a reasonable... It's not like 24 to 27. Also... It's... Even in MMA, 34 to 37, that's a bad gap to have.
Emmett kind of moves like a 37-year-old. Like, he's very... I think he's very flat-footed. I think he looks for the right hand a little bit too often. Like, the Ige fight, I thought Emmett should have been able to go through him. And really, I thought he ended up looking very tired after the first round. And listen, full credit, he dug in. Ige's a tough, tricky dude to deal with. Like, he doesn't make it easy to beat him, yet you have to put your work in. But I look at Kattar and I just think, like, you know, he doesn't get enough credit. I mean, he's a hard hitter himself, but he's such a slick boxer, man, and he's so fucking tough. I just feel like a guy like Emmett, who can wrestle a little bit but not brilliantly, hits hard but not necessarily having those like crisp boxing fundamentals. I just feel like a guy like Emmett's seen that, like not even in MMA. I think he's seen that 100 times when he was an amateur boxer. I don't think he's going to see anything that he feels is alien or new to him. And I also don't think, with the Giga Chikadze fight, Chikadze brought a lot of weapons and skills in that I don't think Kattar had. Don't really see Emmett having any tools that Kattar doesn't do better himself. I mean, maybe he hits a little bit harder, but I don't think the delivery system is as effective. I don't think the boxing fundamentals are there in the same way. And I mean, even in that Giga Chikadze fight, like, Kattar had to walk through some heavy shit, and he did it, and he had a willingness to. Never really seemed to bother him. Max Holloway is maybe a volume guy, but Jesus fucking Christ, he hit him with like 900 strikes, and Kattar did not give up or stop trying to win. I can't look past Kattar. I've picked Kattar by KO. I could see it being a decision, but I think even if it gets past the first 3 rounds, I just think that Emmett's going to slow down. We know Kattar won't slow down. I don't think Kattar is going to get mentally discouraged by anything that comes at him. It is literally just that case of, can Emmett switch the lights off? And I don't think he can past... If it gets into round 4, I don't think Emmett's going to have any gas left to hit him in the same way. Like, I know he knocked out Johnson in the 3rd round. I know he dropped Burgos twice in the 3rd round, but still only the 3rd round. Burgos is a very easy guy to hit. Hands are way too low. Charges forward, bit reckless. Yeah, I'm going Kattar all the way. I don't even feel that nervous about it. I was surprising when you said you were being cautious, Josh, until you said you thought he was going to win every single round.
I just feel like you guys have read my mind, but come to a different conclusion. Yeah, Emmett's flat-footed because he kind of has to be, because he's got that power, and he lands that shot well. But he needs guys to kind of come in. So if Kattar's chasing that finish, and Kattar's closing the distance and coming in on him, then Emmett has a very solid shot landing that hook. If Kattar stays at distance and picks him apart, he says it's your turn to role play as me, I'm going to role play as Max on this one, I don't see him dropping around. But I'm picking decision because I think it's just the sensible way to go about it. You're a better, more skillful, better athlete, better fighter, better stand-up guy. Just don't give him any opportunity to steal a round from you. Don't give him an opportunity to land that bomb. I'm going KO decision. You guys both going KO?
I've gone KO. 5 rounds swayed it for me. I think I went KO as well.
KO as well.
Very nice. I'm really excited about the fight. Like, I think it will be entertaining. I want to see Kattar win so he can fight Arnold Allen as a title eliminator. That would be the way that I would ideally like to see this all play out.
That would be good.
With that in mind, Sly, do you want to do the readouts of the fights, or would you like me to?
I don't mind. You can do the next one, Matt. So I'm not. Oh no, I'll do it. Fuck it. We got Donald Cerrone. I'm okay to go for the next fight. We finished on the main event.
Yeah.
Good. Perfect.
Yeah, I think we can.
So we got Cowboy Donald Cowboy Cerrone, who I thought was retired by now. After he was it his fault or someone else's fault that he wasn't able to fight the last fight? I don't know if that's him or Joe. But anyway, he's fighting against Joe Lawson, who I don't know as much about. I do know a lot about Donald Cerrone, and I've actually gone for a Donald Cerrone knockout because the fact that he's not retired yet makes me want to see him have one good last performance. The last fight I got to see personally of Donald Cerrone was when he got absolutely destroyed by Conor McGregor. So I'm looking forward to him actually performing against someone that's not as good as Conor McGregor. What do you guys think?
Joe Lawson's a legend. Knocked out James Pulver in his debut, and then went on to go into the Ultimate Fighter House for Series 5, which is an all-time classic season. Nate Diaz, Gray Maynard, Cole Miller, fucking That was a deep fucking
Corey
class they
Hill.
had on that one. Yeah, Jesus Christ, Corey fucking Hill. I love that guy.
Rory Emerson was on that season as well.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Fucking good fighters, man.
That
Really
was a
good
fucking
fighters.
season. Joe Lozon, old as shit. Donald Cerrone, old as shit. Lozon's style as a very difficult, awkward grappler should translate to being more effective at the twilight of your career. That being said, I can't really look past Cerrone on this one. I hate picking against J-Lo. I'm going to go Cerrone decision. I think it will be a fun fight, though. This is just good matchmaking. And yeah, you're right, Sly. It was scheduled for 2 weeks ago?
Something
No,
like that. 2 weeks or a
scheduled
month.
274.
It-
274 it was meant to be on.
Okay, so a month ago. And yeah, we're going to get it now. I'm kind of happy having it as a co-main. I wonder if it might impact whether or not either gentleman decides to retire in the cage or not, being a fight night and all. But yeah, I feel like retiring
Well, I
in
think-
the octagon is something you want to do in front of the fans, right? Not necessarily at the Apex.
Yeah, but sometimes you don't have that option. Just to clear up a couple of questions, Sly, it was Cerrone's fault that the fight didn't happen. He ate a dodgy Mexican and got very bad food poisoning the night before the fight. Generally, I've heard it is unlucky. It was very much a bad case of food poisoning, but I think the majority of people also said that if you've just been cutting weight, particularly your first cut back at lightweight in a good few years, 2019 I think was the last time he fought at lightweight, probably not the best idea to have spicy, hard to digest, tough food like Mexican food as your rehydration foods. So maybe that was a factor.
Never been much of a
I
thinker, has he?
picked. No, I mean he's a wild man. He is who he is. So when I did these picks, I picked Lozon for 274, and I've changed my mind back to Cerrone. And the main reason I've thought about is what do the majority of these losses that Cerrone's had on the bounce now? What do they have in common? Well, only one of these 5 losses or 5 winless fights he's had have been at lightweight, and that was the Tony Ferguson fight when Tony Ferguson was still very much Tony Ferguson. Aside from that, he fought. And he also lost to
Gaethje and Hernandez, right?
No, he beat Hernandez.
Oh,
He
yeah,
beat Hernandez. Started him on a little run. But he lost to Ferguson. You can understand he's not at that level. But then he fought welterweight against McGregor. He fought welterweight against fuckface Anthony Pettis. He fought welterweight against Nico Price, who was a big welterweight, and he fought welterweight against Morono. And those last 3 fights in particular, I felt he just kind of got just a bit manhandled. Like, I don't think he's as quick and as durable, and I don't think those sort of attributes that gave him the ability to win as many fights at welterweight as he did were present in the same way. Lightweight, he's fighting an old guy, fought in 3. He's good on the ground. He's a better striker than Lozon. The only thing that I still think in my mind is I honestly think Lozon is going to start this fight like a fucking bat out of hell. I think we're going to see like same way that Lozon fought JSP through it. Just charge across the cage, try and throw the biggest overhand right he can, transition that into a takedown, and try and absolutely steamroll Cerrone because he'll know that he's a slow starter. I just don't think that without that extra weight, there's going to be the same kind of power there. I don't think it's going to be as damaging. I think Cerrone will be able to survive an early fear. I've gone Cerrone by TKO.
What are you saying, Sly?
Yeah, I went to Cerrone by, I believe, TKO. Let me double check my pick. But yeah, that's what I said. That's what I thought. That's what I want. And that is hopefully what will happen. Which, by the way, for anyone watching, if you are looking to put some bets on the UFC from what we saw last season in the MMA split, it's a lot better to follow my advice than Matt or Josh's, as they are more often wrong than I am. So, yeah.
False.
Cerrone by KO.
Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch.
I'm
He's throwing
confident
shade.
that if we add up who got the most fights right, I've got that.
Right.
But
Yeah, and I'm
there's
sure
just too
that,
many
I'm
weeks
sure
where I
that
came second.
And you know what? Liverpool won more games in the Champions League this year than Madrid. See that as you want.
Liverpool
Well,
won
Bournemouth
all
didn't
but
lose a single
two.
game in Europe, mate. So fucking
Yeah, I
can't
know,
figure
right?
that one out. Where's our
Yeah.
trophy?
What?
Up the
Well, Liverpool won all their
cherries.
games, but Madrid got beaten by some team from nowhere. I don't even know who they were in the group stages. Mario Paul Sharif or something.
Yeah, but Madrid also lost. I think they lost at least one of every single one of their ties.
That's what I mean. So I'm just saying with Josh's kind of like theory, I don't think it works. I
No,
think, you know,
Well,
if you're telling people who to follow when betting on the fights, they shouldn't be going for the person that won our archaic 1 point a week system. They should be going for the person that picked the most winners.
I think Josh is sour.
also
Very openly.
you only won 5 out of 12 weeks, so you still have a less than 50% success rate. It's just that there's three of us, so that got split a little bit more across all parties.
It sounds like Matt is sour as well. It sounds like you two are both sour. Fuck.
I really hope I win and you lose this one. This 12
Oh,
weeks
you,
thing.
I think you two are just a
I'm
bunch of lemons.
calculating, coming up with punishments as we speak.
Wet and sour.
He who laughs last laughs hardest, Josh. Sly.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, Josh. Didn't mean to
Well, I thought you were saying it in an encouraging
disgrace your
way.
good name there.
Yeah, I don't think you were trying to throw shade at me. I thought you were just trying to bring me in on it.
That's a
And
nicer way to look at it.
fantastic. So let's move on to Kevin Holland, who will be
First things
fighting
first,
against. Oh,
Josh
what?
picked decision. Josh picks Cerrone by decision. Just
Yeah,
to clarify,
I-
so it's 2 knockouts.
Going to be a grapple heavy affair, but I think Cerrone is still going to find a way to take 2 rounds off of Joe. Sorry, J-Lo.
Do you reckon he gets a head kick? Do you reckon he gets a head kick? Old school Cerrone head kick?
No, because
No?
I don't think Joe's going to engage with him on the feet that way. Joe's either going to be looking to press him up against the cage with his stand-up so he can try and then pull guard or do something, kind of bring it to his world on his terms. Or
Okay,
it's
makes sense.
just going to be Cerrone kind of like countering and sticking and moving and maybe throwing in some takedowns of his own. Because really, with the gap in their grappling skills, it's quite close. Joe's got it, but it is close. Cerrone has got a nice submission threat. It really is just who lands on top or who makes the first mistake, leaving a hand somewhere they shouldn't.
Right, right.
Reasonable assessment.
Sweet.
All right,
Can we
let's
move
move
on
on.
to Kevin Holland?
Please do.
I
Please
really
do.
like Kevin Holland. I think Kevin Holland is so entertaining. And he's playing against Tim Means. I think Kevin Holland's got a lot of shit to say about Tim Means, and I hope that we get to hear all of it during the fight. Yeah, Tim Means, I don't remember last time he had a fight. I think he is supposed to be really good.
He is.
But,
It's fucking
yeah.
excellent. It's fucking excellent.
When was his last fight? Do you guys have any recollection? Who did he fight last? Let me check
I'll bring
it
it
out.
up for you.
Let's have a check. He's had some
It was
really
a
good
win.
wins recently. Pieced up Mike Perry, beat
shit.
Nicholas Dolby,
Yeah, Dolby was
That's
there.
what Dolby.
Staropoli. He did lose to D-Rod, but to be honest, I almost feel like D-Rod and Tim Means are really similar in their style. It's just D-Rod is a little bit bigger, a little bit harder hitting. But Tim Means is a fighter, and that is why I have controversially, even though I fucking love Kevin Holland, am picking Tim Means to get it done. Because however much I love Kevin Holland, and I do think the welterweight is the better move for him, what I thought with Oliveira, the Cowboy Oliveira fight, is that there's a speed advantage he was having at middleweight that kind of covered some of his lacks of sort of true fundamental technique. He can swing a little wild. He doesn't always set things up brilliantly. And Tim Means is just that kind of guy that throws everything straight. He doesn't put anything too much on it. He'll just pick you apart with nice, long, straight shots. For me, it's the kind of fight that can destabilize somebody like Kevin Holland. Now, does Kevin Holland have a better ground game? Yeah. But I don't know if Kevin Holland's going to take it there. Can Kevin Holland knock him out? Fucking yeah, he can knock him out. But is he going to be the disciplined Kevin Holland that he needs to be? Because he's not just going to run through every... Welterweight's a pretty deep division. You're not just going to hit people with wild hands and make some of the mistakes you were making at middleweight and get away with it. So I actually hope I'm wrong on this one, even though I've picked him. I'd like to see Kevin Holland surprise me, but going through the stats, going through my opinion, I have to go Tim Means for me, and I'm going Tim Means decision.
Wow.
Who have you gone with, Sly?
Yeah, personally, I went Kevin Holland back here. I just it means that he's a bit from all the stats I look because I literally don't remember watching him fight that much. I just don't see him being, taking him. The only way I see him beating Holland is by taking him down, holding him down, and keeping him there. Because on the feet, I still think that Holland is really, really, really good, really good.
Would
And I think
you
he's
remember Means
actually.
landed that triple jab on Mike Parry? Step, jab,
Um,
bust nose, step,
Matt,
jab, bust nose, step, jab, bust nose, and Mike Parry's just like, stop fucking doing it. You can't stop him.
yeah, it won't work. It won't work against Kevin Holland. That won't
It,
work. He'll go
it
on the
might.
second hit. He'll get countered.
Yeah.
I don't know. Who did you go for, Josh?
I've gone Holland
Sorry.
KO as well. I think Means likes to throw the knees a little bit, and against the guy as he's not big as in like bulky, but he is big as in fucking long. And whereas Means is like a tall guy for the division. He's got an awkward lanky frame, and he does those knees well. Holland's got a slightly longer, slightly lankier frame, slightly less awkward. I think he is still going to be a lot faster than Means. I think if Means doesn't mind his P's and Q's, particularly any time they're clinching up and he tries to throw a knee, he's going to wind up on his back. I'm thinking it's going to come by way of ground and pound. I don't think Tim Means is the kind to really kind of give up his back too cheaply or anything like that. I'm going Holland KO. It could happen a few different ways, but I am with Matt in that I think this is a closer fight than you think it is. I'm very excited for this one. I've always been a bit of a Tim Means fan. He puts on a great fucking show every time.
I mean, they're tall boys for the weight class. There's no doubt about it. 6'2" versus 6'3". Kevin Holland's got a hell of a reach. I don't think he uses it enough. Like, for somebody who's as long as he is, now that he's at welterweight, I think he should be looking to fight much longer than this. But listen, we'll see what happens. And, hey, listen, who doesn't love Kevin Holland? I mean, when this guy is not fighting in the octagon, he is literally keeping the streets of Texas safe.
Pulling people out of trucks, all sorts of shit.
Stopping shooters at restaurants.
Yeah.
He is the hero that we need but don't deserve in Texas. If he was there in Uvalde, that wouldn't have been the same way. He would have been in that fucking school an hour before any of those police officers were.
That's not hyperbole. That's pretty fucking accurate. I think
that's literally like they waited an hour to go in. It's fucking.
All right, guys. Well, let's keep to the fighting and not the awful things that are happening around the world. The next fight is Joaquin Buckley, New Mansa. Which, by the way, do you guys know what a Mansa is? His ring name is New Mansa, but I have no idea what a Mansa is.
Mansa, as in Mansa Musa, right? Like the richest dude that ever lived.
Ah, okay.
I don't know. You say Mansa, it's the only Mansa I can think of. Unless it's like Marilyn Mansa, but it's not. So.
No.
He's going against Albert Durarev from Russia. The stats say these guys are pretty similar. The only difference is that Joaquin Buckley is a knockout guy and Durarev is a submission guy. What do you guys think about this fight? How do you see it going?
I'll let Josh go first.
I like Joaquin Buckley a lot, but I think Durev's going to get the sub on this one. Buckley's good, but Buckley needs you to kind of get into a stand-up war with him, and he needs you to kind of make a few mistakes here and there. He needs to kind of give you some openings. He's getting better, but it's a bad matchup for him. I think Durev's just going to take him down, hold him down, probably submit him.
You see, I would have said the same thing before Buckley fought Al Hassan. And the fact that he had a willingness to change his game plan, go for a grappling heavy approach, I actually think Buckley's going to get it done. I think he's a lot shorter, which I think is going to help him stop takedowns. It's going to be harder for Duraev to sort of get underneath him a little bit. Buckley hits hard. I think if he works on trying to throw, and if his camp's been doing things like trying to time uppercuts, sprawl, and then hit him with those hooks, I think Buckley gets it done. I'm not confident, but I've gone Buckley by KO.
So Does anyone know if he's still doing the fucking self-defense shit? Or is he had
Yeah,
a
he's
proper
still doing
camp
the
for
Rust
this one?
stuff.
Yeah, I'm definitely picking Duro.
No, he's still no, he's still training at a proper camp. The Rust stuff is just like extra. It's like a motivational or like kind of like mindfulness thing that he does.
There should be no extra. There should be the training camp and the rest. And that's it. Like, whatever. I don't know. How you see it playing out, Sly?
I went for. I was trying to think who I went for. I went for Julev by sub, just just completely on stats. Which I can Buckley doesn't have a very good takedown defense, and I'm just expecting that if he does get taken down, or if because he likes taking people down as well, if he takes him down, I think that Albert could switch that up and sub him. He's very good at subbing people.
Fair enough.
So yeah. Cool,
Great.
cool. Are we good? Now we're going to go to the next fight where I can't either of these names. So
Please have a go.
stay with me. So we've got Damir Ismagulov fighting against Guram
Pretty good.
Kutikadeze. Um,
Need some work.
I like, this Guram guy, I'm just going to call him the Georgian Vikings. I quite like the name. So we've got the Georgian Viking fighting against Kazakh. That's his ring name, Kazakh, which can be said going forwards or backwards. It's one of those names like kayak. I don't have much information about either of these fighters personally, although one of them's from Georgia, the other one's from Russia. So if either of them have some national pride, this could be really, really quite a heavy fight.
Guram had a lot of hype or a lot of media going into his debut because he was fighting Gamrot, who is another absolute fucking beast. And it was one of these, they both fought each other in the debut, and it was one of these like, it was on the prelims, but everyone was talking about it. Gamrot versus Guram, which one of these fucking guys is going to come in and really make the most of the debut? I have not been overly impressed with Guram, if I'm honest. A lot of Georgian fighters, I think, look, really, I don't know if he's one of the top ones in that category. I've gone Ismagulov, I believe, by decision. Easy pick, but really it came down to records, man. Like 23-1. The guy's a top level wrestler. I just think he's going to do Guram a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. Ismagulov. It's like having a big, thick, wet fucking blanket on you when he takes you down. You just can't get up. You're just drowning. It's like being waterboarded. Ismagulov, fucking beast. Kutateladze, a lot of hype. I'm leaning Ismagulov. I think it's a bad matchup. They were trying to get that Don Madge fight for Kutateladze for a while. Couldn't be more of a different kind of style. This one fucking picks itself. Ismagulov, decision. He's not a finisher. Doesn't matter. He's a scary dude.
I went for sub. For Isma. So we've all gone for Isma.
Yeah.
Nice.
Sub could happen. I just don't see him subbing Guram, but you never know. People surprise you.
Wow. Cool. Next fight. Got Julian Marquez. The Cuban Missile Crisis. He's the guy that asked what's her face
Miley
Cyrus after his win. Perfect.
Correct.
Guy.
And he's fighting against Robocop, Gregory Rodriguez. Cool. Should be a good fight. It's quite funny actually. The stats says that the Cuban Missile Crisis is a really good at subbing, but he is never taken anyone down. Like he's never taken anyone down in the UFC, but apparently he's really good at subbing people. So I'm interested to see if he gets a sub. I put him down as getting a sub.
I think he's had a couple of standing submissions.
Is that why? Okay, that's why.
Or I think he's had submissions where he's locked them in on the feet, and then he's kind of dragged them down to the ground to kind of complete it.
Some of them have been comeback.
That's how he got Maki Patolo.
Yeah, Maki Patolo was a drag down one. And a fair few decisions in there, and he's never been finished. He is quite durable, but Jesus Christ, I don't think he's ever gone up against someone that hits as hard as Robocop, and I don't think he's going against someone that puts the pressure on like Robocop. You know, Sam Alvey, Maki Pitolo, these guys hit hard. They can put a good pace on you, especially when you give them a reason to. If you're starting to wilt a little bit, but Robocop doesn't give a fuck. He's just like a small notch down from Chimaev. He just comes out there, all action, hits so freaking hard.
Didn't look great. Didn't look great in his last fight though.
Was that the Iron title? No, he's had one
Against,
since then, hasn't he?
No, it was Armin Petrosian. And Petrosian looked really fucking good in that fight. I think that was part of the problem, is nobody really understood how good Armin was going to be. This was a tough one because I really like Julian Marquez. He's an entertaining guy. I think he's got power, he's got submissions, he's got lots of good benefits,
Got James
lots
Krause.
of good stats. But Gregory Rodriguez, man, even though he did not beat Armin Petrosian, the guy is a beast. He has this classic Muay Thai style. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes. Yeah, I've gone Rodriguez. I think I went knockout, and I think I might end up regretting that, but I'm going to stick with Robocop KO as my pick.
Nice.
Same
Nice. I went Marquez by sub. Let's see if. I mean, he's got 3 subs per 15 minutes in the octagon, so he's going to sub him, but just don't know how he's going to do it because you can't take any. But fuck it, Marquez by sub. Cool. That's the main card,
What
guys.
was your method, Josh?
KO.
What was your
Same
method
as
for that one? KO as well, same as you.